happened to Donald Trump being Hillary's dream opponent? Remember that? Joining me right now, author and libertarian political economist Kristen Tate and Fox News contributor Leslie Marshall. Good to see both of you. Leslie, I got to hold you out on this one, because I got to say, you told us many times right here on the show that you thought Donald Trump was the easiest candidate for Hillary to beat. You said over and over again John Kasich would be the real challenge, but now we're looking at this poll data that's coming in, and it's clear this isn't quite the layup that some folks thought it would be. How come?
Well, first of all, I never thought that it wouldn't be neck and neck, whoever would be out there. Simply when you look at the historical cycles of the last couple presidential elections, we're pretty much a 50-50 split nation. Second of all, independents, there are many of them out there who still have not thrown their support behind anybody. And part of this is, as you alluded to, Trish, Bernie Sanders is still in the game. And honestly, and I keep saying it, and I've even told Senator Sanders, I'm leaving him voicemail messages, you're hurting the party. We need to unite. And also because Donald Trump is not only the Republican nominee, but you have more and more people that are registering to vote that are Republicans that haven't voted before, and you don't see those kind of numbers with the Democrats, which does speak largely to the enthusiasm for Donald Trump.
Enthusiasm gap. All right, I want to get back to this Bernie Sanders issue, because you're right, you know, he's still in there, and I'm questioning why, but we'll get to that in a minute. I want to go to Kristen for a moment. You are seeing all of a sudden the Republican Party coalesce again around this guy that it seems like he was pretty quote-unquote divisive earlier. Are Republicans just waking up to the reality that this is their only chance at beating Hillary Clinton?
Well, look, I think Hillary Clinton represents the status quo, and voters on both sides of the aisle have overwhelmingly rejected the status quo in this election. You have a bad job market, immigrants
and I agree with you, but just in terms of Donald Trump and why we're suddenly seeing so much more support for him. I mean, don't forget, you still have some never-Trumpers out there, and there are a lot of people that said, oh, he's not really a conservative. But now Republicans, as I shared with you, 86% are supporting him. So they're waking up to the reality that he's the winner?
Absolutely. They don't have a choice. I mean, the bottom line is Hillary Clinton would be a nightmare on every issue. Republicans know that. They have two choices at this point. It's Donald Trump or Hillary Clinton. And I think Republicans are smart enough, even if they don't think Trump is the perfect candidate, they know he would be a heck of a lot better than having Hillary Clinton in the White House.
Okay, so back to this issue of why the heck Bernie Sanders is still in there, Leslie. I mean, as you point out, it's robbing her of that support that she desperately needs right now. She wants to really have a united party going into a race against Trump. What is he hanging on for? Does he think she's going to get indicted?
No, I don't think that at all. I think there are a couple of things happening here, Trish. First of all, I don't think Senator Sanders thought that this would go as far as it did and he would have the support that he's had. And I think a little bit gets to the ego there, and it's hard to back down. Secondly, he's very passionate and historically has been very consistent with his passion on certain issues, anti-Wall Street and other issues like climate change. And I think he wants
like
to take
taking
this,
your money,
as he said, to the convention floor. Well, he wants to take this to the convention floor, I think, because he really wants to try and push Hillary, the Democrats, the DNC, if you will, more to the left and have more of a say in this platform.
I mean, forgive me, this is all good for him. This is all good for Donald Trump, Kristen, because the longer Bernie Sanders stays in this race, the more defeated his supporters are going to feel. And let's not forget, you look at that polling data out of West Virginia, 30%, more than 30% were willing to vote for Donald Trump. We're talking about Bernie Sanders supporters. So the longer he hangs in there, the more it helps him.
Right, because Bernie Sanders and Trump both play to that outsider status that voters desperately want. But, you know, for the GOP, Bernie Sanders is the best thing that's ever happened to him. He's like the annoying chihuahua attacking Hillary Clinton so that the GOP doesn't have to. And you have Hillary Clinton spending her time and money combating attacks from her own party. And, you know, Trish, I'm a millennial. All of my friends are just rabid in their support for Bernie Sanders. They all tell me that they will never vote for Hillary. They are so
But they
angry.
tolerate you as a libertarian, huh?
They do, barely. But they're mad because they feel that this election is rigged in Hillary's favor. And they say, you know, if Bernie's not our guy, we will stay home in November. If
wow.
He's not the nominee.
Look, that's a big problem. But we see this happen a lot, right, Leslie? In every primary, you see this division, and somehow people pull it together. I mean, we're seeing it with Donald Trump, frankly, right now, because there are a lot of establishment establishment types that, said there's just no way. And now suddenly, one by one, they're coming in, trickling in. Mitt Romney, not yet, still, but, they're waking up, as I said in the beginning, to this realization that he is their ticket to preventing Hillary from winning. At some point, the Democrats, including some millennials, recognize that they would prefer to have a Democrat in the White House as opposed to a Republican.
Oh, I agree 100%. Because, look, if you have somebody who is as far left as supporting somebody who they consider an outside establishment guy like Senator Sanders, a Democratic socialist, you were not going to go to a guy that says, look at the conservative Supreme Court appointees that I'm going to put there. Somebody who says, oh, no climate change. Somebody who has a now very pro-life stance on abortion. I mean, the list goes on. It's just too far of a stretch. Hillary would be more palatable for them, at least on the issues. Some of them might stay home, which quite frankly, could actually hurt Donald Trump more than it would necessarily hurt Hillary. And then, of course, you have minorities, the women, the youth, and I think they will throw their support behind Hillary Clinton at the end of the day.
We'll
we saw this in 08, right?
It's still early. It's a fascinating race for sure. Kristen, Leslie, thanks so much.